ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime News. Each week we'll bring the biggest talking points regarding Valve and the community. This episode is a particularly special one as it's been exactly 2 years since the series debuted on March 24th, 2012. Oh, how far we've come. You might have noticed we also released an episode last year on the same day for the first anniversary, but we just didn't realize it at the time, and it was a total coincidence. Anyway, we'll be celebrating the occasion with a large game giveaway at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that. And now, the news. As we mentioned on the last episode, San Francisco played host to the Game Developers Conference earlier this week, and Valve were in attendance. During the event, Valve allowed developers and attendees to test the new prototype of the Steam controller, a model currently being referred to as Dog, named after Half-Life 2's fan-favorite robotic companion. The Dog prototypes being shown were created using 3D printers within Valve and were put together by hand only a few days before the convention began. Various video interviews and previews from the event highlighted the changes between this current version and the previous shell model, which we all know as the now scrapped prototype with the large central touchscreen. In an interview with Tested.com, Valve's Scott Dalton discussed the various new changes introduced to the Dog prototype, including the inclusion of analog triggers instead of the previously available digital ones, and the lighter form factor boasted by the new design. Scott also discussed the one-to-one nature of the trackpads and how they are supposedly superior to thumbsticks available on conventional controllers. However, reactions to the new design and the Steam controller in general were mixed. IGN's Scott Lowe released an article discussing how he approves of the new ABXY button layout over the older shell variant, while PC gamers Evan Lottie felt certain buttons were too distant to comfortably reach with larger hands. At the current time, most of the criticism being fired at the controller can largely be tied to a lack of experience, with Evan describing how "I didn't once feel comfortable in control or that Valve's hardware configuration was in any way an upgrade over a controller with analog sticks. We really can't comment on the design of the controller for ourselves as we still have yet to get our hands on one. Hint hint, Valve." Yeah, I can't believe we have to do this again this week. As an unfinished prototype, we imagine the controller will continue to change and develop prior to the main release alongside the first batch of Steam machines later this year. Links to all of the videos and articles we just mentioned are available in the video description alongside helpful links to everything else we're talking about this week. While visiting San Francisco for GDC, Valve employees also headed to the Castro Theater on Tuesday for the live premiere of the free-to-play Dota 2 documentary. The premiere was opened by The Good Studio founder James Harding, who also features as the main presenter for last year's International 3 tournament. Dendi and Fear, two of the players highlighted in the documentary, were also in attendance alongside various Valve employees associated with the creation of the film. Following a showing of the documentary, Dendi, Fear, and the Valve employees took part in a 30-minute question and answer session hosted by Harding himself, which typically somehow managed to also feature a Half-Life 3 joke. The following day, the documentary was publicly released onto Steam and YouTube via the Valve channel. Shortly before the release, the free-to-play pack was made available in the Dota 2 store for the rather modest price of £10.79 in the UK and $17.99 in the US. As we've previously mentioned here on the show, the pack features 3 cosmetic item sets for various heroes and a number of free-to-play themed items such as a courier, HUD, and some wards. Following the release of the film, the premiere and the QA session were shown on Twitch TV for the first time, which you may want to check out if you're looking to learn more about the film and its creation. Not wanting to feel left out of the action, we thought it would be interesting to make a ValveTime review of the documentary to share our thoughts and opinions on Valve's first feature-length film. If you haven't had a chance to check out our review for yourself, be sure to click the annotation link provided on screen at the end of this episode to learn more about what we think of the documentary. Later in the week, the Dota 2 development team released a new blog post to the game's website to discuss various changes they have recently made to limit the possibility of receiving duplicate items while opening chests. The blog post shown here notes how players can no longer receive the same item multiple times by opening the same treasure chest until all of the items within it have been found at least once. Chests now also provide a chance to receive bonus rewards, allowing the player to find more than one item within a given chest set. The post highlights how all previously released treasure chests now boast this new anti-duplicate feature, providing what Valve called the perfect opportunity to take another look at what they have to offer. Valve are also highlighting the new system with the release of a pair of new chests known as the Radiant Arms and the Dire Arms, both of which award the player with full cosmetic item sets rather than individual items. Now, at the start of this episode, we promised you an anniversary giveaway, so let's get on with it. To thank everyone for supporting us over the past 2 years since this series first aired, we're going to be giving away 12 different games, one to each randomly selected individual. 5 of the games we will be giving away were kindly donated by friend of ValveTime Zilu, to whom we're very grateful. For this particular giveaway, we'll be giving out a single copy of Mirror's Edge, Mark of the Ninja, Bastion, Brutal Legend, Crisis 2, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Surgeon Simulator 2013, Trine 2, and Dead Space. You might have noticed we only mentioned 9 games, and that's because 3 of the promised dozen are keys for the Dead Island Epidemic closed beta, which is currently underway on Steam. But how do you go about winning one of these fine Steam games? Well, simply leave a comment below letting us know which ValveTime video series is your favorite, or which episode of a certain series you particularly enjoy more than the others. Explanations for your choices are also good to hear. We'll randomly select participants and reveal the winners on next week's roundup episode, so be sure to stay tuned for that. After we reveal the winners, each individual will be contacted to find out what they have won and how they can claim their prize. Good luck to everyone who plans to participate, and thanks for supporting us these past 2 years. And that brings us to the end of another week of Valve News. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, to rate our Dota 2 pack positively over on the Steam Workshop, and to visit valvetime.net to sign up on our community forums to get involved. Stay tuned in the coming weeks as we're currently preparing to air an all-new video series here on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe to catch it the moment the pilot episode is released. As always, thanks for watching and sticking with us. Bye for now.